Hi and welcome to my channel. These are my K-pop predictions for the year. It'll be a more casual style of video than I usually make, but if you like it, please consider subscribing. So my first prediction for the year is that I think boy groups will pull focus. I think JYP will debut one, since they seem to be debuting a lot of things lately. I think you might even get a survival show, depending on how much JYP liked having one for the VCHA American group that he invented on YouTube, essentially. I think it's a dying format, and I addressed it kind of in my last video, but I think that JYP loves the initial boost they get out of it, so they'll probably do it. I think that the new NCT unit will be very successful. I think Riize, the new SM group that's been doing pretty good, I think they'll ride this retro-y R&B sound for a while, and then SM will try and push them hard into a poppy, high-performing level. I think they'll pull focus away from groups like IVE, honestly, and I think groups like Stray Kids and Enhypen, the usuals, will continue to sell millions of albums, as they do, and people will be like, well, if they're selling millions of albums and their songs are popular, why aren't they more popular in the public consciousness, and then people will catch on to them? Not to say that Stray Kids isn't popular in public consciousness, but they're not like New Jeans popular, and I think we're gonna get that switch sort of where we go back to boy groups for a while. I think you'll see less third generation groups overall, especially as some of these boy groups get hit with that military service. I think you'll also see less from the major third generation girl groups too. I'll start with Red Velvet because they're my fave. We know we're getting a Wendy solo. I have some concerns that it will be like water, which is not, it wasn't bad, but it's very specific. It's not pop. It's not Joy's Hello. It's not happy for everyone. So I'm concerned that the sales won't be amazing because it's too narrow, and SM will be like, oh, we can't afford to put out any other solos for our Red Velvet girlies. And I'll be like, I think SM will continue to place Red Velvet in the worst spots on the calendar for releases. Chill Kill at the same time as aespa's Drama. I mean, they're not that similar concept wise, but they're not dissimilar enough that you could be like, this is two completely different things. And they're capitalizing on the same market share. People who like Red Velvet probably like aespa and vice versa. And people will be like, well, I can only buy one album, so I'm going to buy aespa because they're new and fresh. And I don't want to have FOMO. And Red Velvet's been here a while. So I'm hoping that they don't do that again, but I think that's going to be the trend for SM in the future. What I'm gonna manifest, I'm gonna predict it, but I'm truly just manifesting it. I hope for another mini album like Ice Cream Cake from Red Velvet. I want a song like Automatic, and I want a song like Ice Cream Cake. Just pop hit, and then just an R&B, just so good, so amazing, and then other great songs with it. That's what I want to see from them, and I think, I know they can do it. So hopefully SM presents us with that, perhaps, and we get a huge resurgence in Red Velvet. As for Blackpink, I think you're not going to see him. Well, I think you're going to see a title track and some solo pursuits, but I think you're going to see not very much of them. I think you're going to see Jisoo's going to act in something else. I think Jennie's going to really lean into the fashion thing. And then I think Rosé and Lisa are going to put out music. And I think Lisa is going to focus on a Western audience, not really be concerned about the domestic market. I mean, good for her, clearly been working out for her. I think that's what you're going to see from Blackpink, and I don't think it's going to be them together very much still, and probably for the rest of time. As for Twice, I think they're going to push hard into the Western market. I think we're going to maybe see Subunit and probably one or two more solos for them, but I think we're only going to see one Korean title track, and I think it's coming later this month or next month or whenever that thing that they've already announced is going to come out. I think they're going to push so hard into the Western market that they're going to do a collab with another Western artist. I will be shocked if they go back to touring. They were touring for so long, and I feel like it might have kept them from making and releasing new music, and that could have hurt them, domestically. I think JYP's looking at all these things, and the girls are probably tired of touring. It's grueling on artists. I mean, they really seem to like it, but it's hard. It's rough. For trends overall, I think we're going to see more dance and hyperpop music. I'm always thinking we're going to see more hyperpop music, and it does seem to be steadily growing. I think we're going to see less disco inspired music and more R&B tracks or R&B inspired tracks. I think we'll get revivals of second gen groups, but like in unit form, like Sistar19 and Apink's unit from last year. I think they may stay focused on these subunits for logistical reasons. Not all the girls really want to be making music and doing stages and stuff anymore, it seems, or may only want to tag in occasionally. But I think you'll see at least one Girls' Generation style comeback like Forever One, where all the girls came back. I think you'll definitely see a couple of those. The next thing I think you're going to see a lot of is concert films and VR experiences. Now, I think the virtual reality thing might be out of left field for some people, but they did this Link Pop aespa VR experience. I know. And they promoted it seemingly everywhere. South by Southwest. You can go to it now in Korea, I think. So I think that there's going to be a ton of stuff like that and stuff like the NCT concert film, because it's way, way cheaper for companies to just record a concert and then do a Fathom event style thing where it's like, okay, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can go see your favorite band in concert at your local movie theater instead of having to have these bands tour the vastness that is America, right? I think this will be really popular for fourth gen groups who are maybe not as founded, or they want to spend more time making and promoting new music domestically. I mean, if I were in charge of IVE or Le Sserafim or even aespa to a certain extent, I would not have them tour. I'd be like, listen, girls, you can do 1 or 2 or 3 shows, you know, and we'll record them, and then the shows can tour America, then you can learn choreo for your next single. I think companies are going to be looking at that and looking at the cost savings, or less cost savings, but more, think of the risk, like, of taking your artist away from something and devoting them to an experience like touring, which is less guaranteed to make money. Now, it can make more money, but it can also not pan out at all. So I think they're going to be weighing these things. And I think you're going to see a lot more of these concert films and VR tours or something like that in the future. My final prediction is a boring one because several companies have already committed to this, but I think you're going to see more sustainable album packaging. And I can see this as both a pro and a con. Like, I love sustainable packaging for like an item that I use once, or like lip balm. I buy lip balm, I'm taking it out of the card sleeve, I'm recycling the card sleeve. An album I keep on my shelf for a long time. So I think you're going to see some albums that are kind of more flimsy in packaging and not so great because they can be branded as sustainable. SM kind of already does this with the zine versions of stuff, where I'm like, I wish this was hardbound so I could keep it forever and not worry about it folding or creasing or getting weird or whatever. But I think that even more than that, they're going to be pushing those like SM mini albums and the weverse albums that are basically just overpriced photo cards in like an envelope, sometimes in like a plastic blister plaque in SM's version. I mean, the SM mini album versions are cool, but they're not worth the price tag even a little bit. So I think companies are going to be like, well, it's a lot cheaper for us to make this envelope or whatever else, and people are still plenty happy to buy it because they're mostly buying albums from the photo cards anyway. So I think they'll be pushing stuff like that and stuff like the zine versions that are very recyclable, and they'll say it's for recycling or sustainability or whatever else. And really, it'll be because the cost margins are a lot better. Now, do I think that's better for the consumer? Maybe. Some consumers, definitely. Do I think it's better for the planet? Definitely. So it's like, I'll take it. You know, if that's what happens, it's not such a bad thing after all. Anyway, I'm very excited to see everything that happens in 2024. Thanks so much for watching, and again, if you liked the video, please consider subscribing. Bye!